Hello and welcome to my show Through a Trauma-Informed Lens, Soma, Psyche Soul. I'm Aneta Itchak and I'm grateful for you to be here with me in this space. Today I want to explore something with you that touches, I think, everyone who is on a growth or healing path. And that something is an experience of inner resistance. That experience of inner no that appears just when you are about to step forward, to do something different, to show up more fully. And it might look like a procrastination or perfectionism or distraction or scrolling on social media. And we often call this experience self-sabotage. You know, those moments when part of you truly wants to take some kind of action, maybe to be more visible on social media or share your work with more people or to set a boundary or to change your schedule because you know you want to rest loads more. But then another part quietly stops you from doing that. And instead you end up cleaning your fridge or your oven or cleaning your office or planning, making another plan, thinking about something, looking at the pros and cons, asking everybody around you what they would do in that situation, or maybe you just freeze. If that's a familiar experience, I want to let you know that there is nothing wrong with you, that there is something within you that is happening that really needs your attention, love and care. And that resistance or self-sabotage isn't a failure, but it's a way that our system protects itself from something that doesn't feel safe yet. That resistance is your body whispering, your inner ecosystem whispering, slow down. Something in here doesn't feel safe yet. So in this episode, I want to explore this experience of inner resistance with you through the lens of somatic experience in a very kind and compassionate way, and really bringing into the conversation your body, your nervous system, your inner parts, and aligning it also with your soul's truth can help you move forward with more ease, integrity, and joy. Many of us, certainly I can speak about my experience, were taught to overcome resistance by force, to push through it, to push harder, to motivate ourselves more, to just get on with it. Fake it till you make it. Just keep forcing, keep pushing against it. But when we push in this kind of way, without listening, we end up fighting ourselves. We end up creating an inner war, and it can be a really painful and very lonely place to be in. Because that inner resistance is trying to tell you something. And in my experience, it's usually a younger or protective part of you saying, this doesn't feel safe. I'm not ready to do it yet, or I'm not ready to do it in this kind of way, or that doesn't feel aligned with my needs, with what is most important to me. So instead of pushing, we can approach it in a different way. We can learn to pause, we can learn to listen, and we can learn to understand what that inner no is trying to tell us. And this is the heart of trauma-informed and nervous system friendly way of growing, healing, and changing. So I want us to look at it through the lens of somatic and holistic way of being with that resistance, of understanding that resistance. And we can call it trap sensation or trap experience within our body. And we can also bring the whole person approach and really look through it through the lens of what I teach in my training certification, which is the Integrated Soma Psyche Soul coaching method, in which we see that on somatic level, the body communicates through sensations and contraction or expansion, through impulses, through rhythm, through energy. And the psyche communicates through the felt senses and the inner parts, each one carrying different needs, different fears, different memories. And we can also bring soul into it, that deeper wisdom that you have within you that longs for you to embrace the truth of who you are. So resistance often arises when these layers are not in harmony. One part wants to grow, another part fears more exposure, another part just wants to rest and recover. When we learn how to listen to all of them, we find that this inner resistance is not an opposition. It's not about stopping you growing or healing, but instead it's an invitation to more integration, to living more in harmony through the lens of wholeness and integrity. So I want to take you through the 5 steps to work with resistance in a more somatic way. You can use these steps for yourself. You can change them in any way that feels right. These steps are an invitation for you to bring more curiosity and to really start exploring your own experience and what works for you. It's an invitation for you to start getting to know yourself and trusting that inner knowing, that deep inner wisdom that is within you. So the step number 1 is always about starting with bringing more awareness. And we want to start with the awareness of the body. It's a very somatic way of being. We spend so much time in our heads thinking about the past, planning for the future. But what we want to do instead is to really arrive fully here in the body. So my invitation in that step 1 is for you to pause and to start feeling your body more. Leaning into the support underneath you. So if you are sitting on the chair, leaning into the support of the chair. Feeling the support underneath your feet, so the floor or the earth. Feeling the support of your immediate environment as you are being held in this moment here, right now. And noticing that you have body. And at this stage, we don't want to start changing anything. So often we are experiencing something and we jump straight away into trying to fix it or improve it or change it in some kind of way. So my invitation to you is simply to just notice your body, allow yourself to sense within your body, become fully aware of you being within your body. And then in step 2, we want to start noticing how we are experiencing that resistance within our body. And so you can ask yourself, where in my body do I sense this resistance? How does it express itself within my body? Is there a tightening in my stomach? Is there a clenching in my jaw or my throat? Is there tightness in my forehead, on my chest, my belly? Is there holding in my shoulders or my back? Is there tightening in my bottom? It could express itself in so many different ways, and we simply want to locate it and acknowledge it with curiosity and without judgment. So take a moment to be with your experience, with that curiosity. Notice any movement, any rhythm, any texture, any qualities that are present. Allowing yourself to meet yourself within your experience in this moment. And then you can move into befriending those sensations and noticing what those sensations or those felt senses are telling you about what's happening to them right now. The easiest way to do it is just simply turning towards that place that you are experiencing resistance within your body and being with it with kindness and compassion. You can let it know that you really hear it and that you are listening and that you want to learn more about what's going on for it. This is the part that's been usually misunderstood when we are working with resistance or self-sabotage. Bringing that understanding that everything that is happening within you, there is some kind of reason for it. And normally, behind every reaction or response or experience, there is some kind of self-protection. Something doesn't feel safe enough. And this is why those inner parts hit the brakes. So you can ask this felt sense or that part, what are you protecting me from? And what do you need from me right now? Taking a moment to just be with your experience, with that felt sense or that part, without trying to change it in any way. Without using lots of tools or techniques or approaches to do anything with it, but just simply sitting with it, listening, being curious, being open. And if you stay long enough, something will start happening. Something might start to soften. That might be a sense of shifts happening within your body, within your felt experience. There might be an experience of gentle release. There might be a sigh, taking more breath. Some kind of change in your physiology that will happen. When you stay with the felt senses, with your inner experiences, slowly they will reveal their story. But just like with any other relationship, if you've been ignoring your inner experiences for a long time and trying to fix it and change it or get rid of them, it might take a while for them to be able to tell you what's going on for them and what they need. There is one other step that I see missing in many different approaches. And that is the step of connecting with your soul's truth. Because once you've listened to the body and the felt senses and the inner parts, I'd like to invite you to pause again and allow yourself to drop even deeper within your experience. I'd like to invite you to ask yourself gently, do I really want to do this? Whatever it is that you want to do that you feel resistance towards doing. Do I really want to do this from my heart and my inner knowing? Or do I feel that I should do it because of expectations, because of my conditioning, because other people are doing it, so I should do it? And is this action aligned with who I want to be? Is it aligned with my core values? Is it aligned with the true expression of my soul and my soul's calling? Notice the difference in your body between a true yes and a should yes. A true yes feels grounded and open and steady. It feels really embodied in the belly or in the pelvis. A should yes often feels tight or pressured or quite anxious and fueled by fear or disconnected. Sometimes resistance is simply your soul saying, this isn't aligned with my truth, with my core values, with how I love to work, what I want to create. Sometimes your soul says, this isn't aligned right now. And if we learn to listen to that, we can act from truth rather than obligation. This is the step that so often is missing when we try to be more visible, when we try to bring our work into our communities and the world. No matter how much strategy you do, or how much mindset you do, or even how much somatic work you do, if there is misalignment on that soul level, you will hit obstacles, you will hit that resistance that will feel like banging your head against the wall. So this step of really acknowledging whether there is a soul alignment or whether there is misalignment somewhere is really key to allowing you to live and work and thrive with more joy. And of course, the last step in here, step number 5, is that every time you meet resistance or you experience something that feels like self-sabotage, that you pause and approach it with awareness, with kindness and compassion, and in a very gentle way, so you can build that deep sense of self-trust and nervous system regulation that is in alignment with your soul. And in this way, resistance stops being something that you have to get rid of, something that is an obstacle, and becomes your teacher, because it's showing you what needs tending to, what needs healing, where you need to slow down and pay attention to what truly matters to you. So my invitation to you is that you rinse and repeat, and that you repeat these steps often, maybe even daily, if you are experiencing a lot of inner resistance, where you say you want to do something and yet you're doing something different. Because each time you repeat this process, you strengthen your inner sense of self-trust, and you strengthen the pathway of self-leadership and embodied alignment. So when we approach resistance in this way, we stop this inner war within us. We stop fighting ourselves, and we create harmony and cohesion from different parts of ourselves, from body, from psyche and soul. They stop competing for different needs being met. There is more alignment, more joy, more harmony, more love. And you start moving not from pressure, but from a state of presence, stability, connection, not from fear and survival, but from alignment, creativity, ease, and joy. And this is how resistance changes from an obstacle into guiding you towards more integrity. The shift in understanding that resistance was never blocking you. It was guiding you every step of the way to pay attention to what matters most to you, to embrace your true voice, and to walk your unique path that only you can do. So as you move through your week, notice where resistance or self-sabotage shows up. And instead of trying to push through it, motivate yourself, numb it out or ignore it, or trying to fix it, simply allow yourself to slow down, pause, turn inward, and ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? How is it showing up? What part of me is saying no to this? And what is it protecting me from? Is this resistance showing me misalignment or fear? And what would an aligned yes feel like in this situation? And you can do it in so many different ways. You can grab your journal and journal around it. You could move your body and just hold it in your mind. You could speak it out loud. You could go for a walk. You could talk to somebody about this, somebody that you trust. But no matter how you do it. And just notice how this resistance has such a wonderful gift for you. When you meet this resistance with curiosity and soul alignment, it can become the most honest compass you have. It will guide you every step of the way into becoming who you really want to be. And this is what I wish for each one of you. So if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need this reminder today. That their resistance and self-sabotage are not flaws, that there is nothing wrong with them. But instead they are sacred invitations to experience more harmony, more connection, and more wholeness. And if you are interested in exploring more of this kind of way of being, living and working with others, check out the information about our training certification, Trauma-Informed Somatic Teacher and Coach for Women, where we explore all these approaches, where I teach you how to use the Integrated Soma Psyche Soul coaching method for yourself and in your work with clients. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for joining me here and for being part of this community. And I wish you a really good day. Take care for now.